Go ahead, please.
All right, good evening and welcome to this very special meeting of the Mid-Peninsula Regional Open Space District. My name is Zoe Kirstein Tucker. I am president of the Board of Directors. The meeting is now called to order. It is 5 p.m. Before we start our meeting this evening, I want to go ahead and review the district's teleconference meeting procedures for this evening. The meeting is being held in accordance with a recent amendment to the Brown Act through legislation known as AB 361, which allows a fully remote meeting during proclaimed emergencies. And I would like to go back and ask the district clerk to call the roll. Excuse me for going out of order.
No problem. I could have done it after. Director Steer?
Here.
Director Hassett? Director Holman?
Here.
Director Kirstein Tucker?
Here.
Director Kishimoto?
Here.
Okay. Director Ripple?
Here.
And Director Siemens? Director Siemens, you are muted.
Sorry, yes.
Thank you.
Took everybody by surprise there. All right, I'll continue now. We're doing our best this evening to conduct a meeting where everyone has an opportunity to listen to the meeting and to provide comment. The meeting agenda explains how members of the public can provide comments at this meeting. The public may submit written comments and may provide public comments through the internet or via telephone. Members of the public who wish to comment during the meeting should submit the online public comment form available on the district website. And I want to just make sure everyone knows that we won't be calling on folks who raise their hands this evening. So you do need to follow the protocols on the district website for making public comment. Let's start by briefly describing the process for today's meeting. Board members and district staff will be participating in the Zoom online meeting as panelists to have the ability to mute and unmute themselves and interact among each other. Members of the public will join as attendees. They will be able to hear and see all presentations, but will not be able to unmute themselves or share their screens. During the public comment period, the district clerk will call on members of the public individually who have submitted an online public comment form. Commenters will be allowed to unmute themselves to address the board for up to 3 minutes. At the end of 3 minutes, they will be muted. Video of guests is turned off in Zoom. This will help the meeting run without interruption. Board members and staff, please keep your microphones muted unless you are speaking in order to minimize background noise. I'll be asking for board member questions and comments by calling on each individual board member. This will help us prevent us from talking over each other. I'd like to remind all staff members to announce their names and titles when speaking to ensure that the board and public know who is speaking. Thank you. All right, we'll move now to oral communications on items not on the agenda. Are there comments from members of the public on matters within the jurisdiction of the district, but not on the agenda tonight?
President Kirstein Tucker, yes, we have several that have asked to provide oral comments. The first we're going to call on, and just to give everyone kind of the process, we will go, there's 5 so far to give public comment right now. This is not on the e-bikes item. You will have 3 minutes, and at the end of 3 minutes, you will be muted. And so first we're going to have April Vargas. So you will be allowed to unmute yourself, and then, so April, you can go ahead and unmute yourself, and you will have 3 minutes.
Okay, thank you. I am April Vargas, and I live in Montera. I'm one of so many Coastsiders who are so happy to be part of the district. It was a long and often difficult process to expand the boundaries to the coastside, but it's certainly been much more than worth all the time, effort, and good energy from people to make this happen. I'm also a member of the Farm Workers Affairs Committee. We're a standing committee originally organized through the San Mateo County Democratic Party, and we're advocates for the farm worker community on the coast side. I applaud your decision in your 50th anniversary year to update your policies for use and management of your agricultural lands and rangelands. And I look forward to working with all of you to develop policies that will take us well into the next 50 years of the district. When the Coastside Protection Plan was adopted nearly 20 years ago now, there was very little discussion that I recall
April, you just got muted.
Well, there was very little discussion about farm workers, how they keep the land in production and put food on the table for so many of us. There's a growing awareness in our community and county and statewide about how important and essential these workers truly are. So I'm hoping that as you start to draft the update to your lands policies, that you will consult, really listen, and totally include the farm worker community and their advocates and allies in the process. Thank you so much for the opportunity to address you.
Thank you, Ms. Vargas. The next speaker that we have is Victoria Sanchez de Alba. So you can go ahead and unmute yourself and you will have 3 minutes.
Hi there. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Wonderful. Okay, then let me see here. I'm trying to, oops, I'm sorry. Yes, hi, I'm Victoria Sanchez de Alba. Hello, board members and staff. I'm a chair of the San Mateo County Democratic Farm Worker Affairs Committee, and I'm also on the leadership committee, member of the San Mateo County Farm Worker Affairs Coalition, the non-political. And I'm a former farm worker from the Salinas Valley, where my entire family worked in the agricultural fields. I went on to graduate from the University of San Francisco, and after a career in journalism here in Bay Area Television News and in high-tech PR, I now own my PR firm, and I work primarily with nonprofits and groups on social impact campaigns that promote social justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion. I live in Pacifica, and I spend a lot of time on the coast side. I'm here to encourage you, Mid-Peninsula Regional Open Space District, to please seek input, listen to suggestions and advice, and include as many voices as possible as you prepare to update your policies for the district's agricultural lands. I look forward to finding ways how we can work together to support the land, support the people who work on the land, and to create opportunities for workers to become operators in their own right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The next person we have providing oral comments is Jeff Brown. Jeff, you can go ahead and unmute yourself, and you do have 3 minutes.
Good evening. My name is Jeff Brown, and I work for the district as a ranger, and I'm joining you tonight on release time as a representative of the Mid-Peninsula Rangers Peace Officers Association, which is the employee association representing the rangers in negotiations with the district. These negotiations have reached an impasse, and we have been unable to sign an employment contract. Rangers work as peace officers, protecting the public and open space by patrolling the preserves. Rangers patrol in a variety of vehicles, including four-wheel drive trucks. One of the vehicles that rangers have access to are electric motorcycles. I am in support of the electric motorcycle program, and I've seen the effectiveness of this mode of patrolling the preserves firsthand as an early adopter of the program. Although because of the inherent hazard of riding a motorcycle in the open space preserves and on public roadways, I am forced to withdraw from this assignment. While patrolling the preserves on electric motorcycle, I have had many positive interactions with visitors. Most visitors are initially surprised to see a motorcycle in the preserve, but once they realize it's a ranger on patrol, they are supportive. I am also supportive of the district's climate action goals, and the electric motorcycle program has helped the district reach its goals. The electric motorcycles also provide access to many of the trails that are inaccessible to patrol trucks. Although it takes a high level of skill to operate a motorcycle safely, especially while on patrol and around members of the public. Our rangers have the training and skills to operate in this environment, although it only takes a moment of inattention for serious accident to occur. Rangers need to have the discretion to be able to choose when it is safe for them to operate a motorcycle and when to choose another mode of patrol for their own and others' safety. We have not been given this discretion. Rangers participating in the program have been forced to patrol on motorcycle on days that weather and other factors have made motorcycle patrol unsafe. Our current benefits package doesn't have the protections that are required by the public safety profession. Public safety professionals have a much greater exposure to injury than the general public. Rangers are public safety professionals. We need the protections that a public safety retirement plan offers. I am unsure how long my family could survive on the limited workers' compensation provided by the current benefits plan if I sustained a disabling injury on the job. I am in support of the electric motorcycle program, and I would like to see it continue, although without additional protections, the risk of riding a motorcycle while working as a ranger is too great, and I am forced to resign from this assignment. Members of the public, thank you for joining this call and participating in the process. If you support having skilled rangers working as public safety professionals in your community, please put in public comment to your elected board members and urge them to return to the negotiations table with the rangers and offer a public safety benefits plan. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you, Jeff. The next public speaker we have is Alex Hapke. And I will remind those, if you do want to submit comments for oral communications, you do need to use the public comment form using the website that's listed at the top of this, this slide. So Alex, you can unmute yourself and you do have 3 minutes.
Good evening. My name is Alexander Hapke and I am the president of Midpeninsula Rangers Peace Officers Association. The POA is now at an impasse in contract negotiations with the district after more than 10 months of negotiating our first contract. The POA was created as the district's second bargaining unit because the POA could not get a public safety retirement plan in previous negotiations. District Rangers go through a law enforcement academy, annual firefighting training, and biannual emergency responder training because we had those job requirements and we carry out those functions. CalPERS public safety retirement plans are for individuals who are involved in law enforcement, fire suppression, and the protection of public safety, and Rangers have all of these responsibilities. Miscellaneous retirement plans, however, are for individuals who are not involved in law enforcement, fire suppression, or the protection of public safety. 20 out of 30 POA members are currently contracted under a PEPRA miscellaneous retirement plan where they must work until age 62 to receive full benefits, and those numbers will only increase. The difference between a miscellaneous retirement plan and a public safety retirement plan is an expected 44 to 50% reduction in retirement income. As the district's emergency responders, Rangers are put at risk by responding to the same types of emergency calls without the same public safety benefits as other first responders. What is the district's response to all this? Every time the POA negotiations team put forward a proposal including a public safety retirement plan, the district team would refuse to negotiate on it entirely, therefore never allowing us to bargain to improve our retirement benefits. You might be asking how this affects you. This directly affects members of the public, especially neighbors of the district. The district is currently trying to minimize their fire suppression responsibilities, despite each fire season becoming more intense and lasting longer. District lands are full of fuel ready to burn, and the next CZU could happen directly on district lands and spill over into neighboring communities. In closing, Rangers are only asking for benefits we qualify for and have access to as public safety professionals. Rangers want to be at the negotiation table bargaining with the district for a public safety retirement plan as part of our first labor contract, and we have shown openness to compromise on replacing binding arbitration with an administrative law judge to get to an agreement. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Alex. The next public comment we will have is from Ryan Augustine. I think it was Ryan Augustine. Hold on just a second.
You unmuted Ryan Jordan, not
Yeah,
Ryan Augustine.
Hold on just a second. We've got a couple Ryans in the list and the names jump around. Thank you, Ryan. Okay, Ryan Augustine, you can unmute yourself and you do have 3 minutes.
All right, thank you. I'm Ryan Augustine. I'm a member of the Mid-Peninsula Rangers Peace Officers Association. I want to bring to the attention of the board that the district rangers respond to accidents on district lands. When the life and safety of the public or staff is in danger, we respond with our lights and sirens to arrive and provide safety and emergency care. This is what we do. It is part of our job. And for some of us, like myself, this is what draws us to be Rangers. I want to help people in remote areas until they can get a higher level of care than what I can provide. I want to draw attention to the COVID-19 and the pandemic. While the district staff work from home, board meetings were and still are moved to Zoom, and almost everywhere had been shut down. The district Rangers still worked in the field. The Rangers have provided safety to the public every day of the year for the 50 years the district has been around. We are defined as essential, and thus, with no objection from us, continue to provide public safety to those in our district throughout all this time. The Rangers worked with the increase in the visitorship. With the increase came more accidents. At one point, all district lands prohibited bike and equestrian use because of this increase. Every day, I wondered if I would get to see my wife and daughter when I came home because of an exposure preventing me from returning. This included the pre-vaccine times for adults and extended until my daughter was approved to receive hers. Every day I had to prevent my daughter from giving me a big hug when I got home to prevent a possible exposure, at least until I was able to quarantine my work clothes and take a shower. To put it another way, my protections for my livelihood and my family's via retirement and disability is being treated the same as those who worked remotely or were put on administrative leave to stay home from work. My greater chance of exposure and risk of long COVID preventing me from ever doing my job again threatens me every day. An injury responding to and providing life-saving care could happen at any point. This is what the public safety benefits addresses. All responders trained to protect themselves and others. All agencies have standard operating procedures and policies to keep everyone safe. No one wants to be injured, but a Ranger's safety is like a hero versus a villain. Our safety has to win every time because it only takes one accident to no longer be able to do our job. Please return to the negotiation table with a public safety option. Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. And those are all of the public comments, both written and oral, that have been submitted for oral communications for this evening.
All right, thank you. And thank you to our members of the public who take their time out of their busy schedules to join us for these meetings. We appreciate your comments. All right, we'll move now to adoption of the agenda. May I have a motion, please? To
So
adopt the
moved.
agenda?
The Director Sear, I second.
There's a motion by Director Riffle and a second by Director Sear. Is that correct?
Yes,
Yes.
that's what I have.